Hi, I'm William Tenholder. I've been playing for over 100 years. Just kidding. It's been a long time. Well, over 55 years, and you know, there's always a new game. There's very few that are exactly the same. Very few, one or two. But this is all about the center and who controls the center and who gets material advantage. So let's move along quickly. I like to move through these games as fast as possible. This is good for beginners, intermediates, and the odd master may enjoy this. The odd grandmaster maybe will enjoy this. So let's go. Here we go. So this is a traditional queen pawn, and of course I just always oppose. We don't want anybody to get in behind our territory. Let's oppose everything if we can, okay? So we're going to move on. They attack the pawn. Very traditional. The knights come out. So let's move along quickly. Now there's just a perfect, strong position for white. What does black do? Yeah. I don't know why, but they decided to put out their A pawn for no specific. Well, they don't want. Yes, they don't want the pin on the knight, right? So this would be probably my next move. Maybe they've seen my games. So let's, maybe they did me a favor because this is a nice, simple opening. I love to castle on move 5. So what's their next move? Perfect. Castle, right? Move 5, castle. It's my lucky number. I always win those games. So here we go. Yeah, they bring out the other knight. Yeah, they're happy. I'm happy. Let's see. See what we got here. Yeah, we got the 4 knights out. Similar thinking here. Look at the symmetry. The symmetry is perfect. So let's look at the center game here. This is all setting up for a strong center game. They seem to know what they're doing. And they bring out the bishop to a perfect spot. I don't want any pins or anything from that bishop. So yeah, h3 is logical. They castle as well, and look at that. It's just almost a carbon copy. Great symmetry. Somebody's going to win this game. Now, there's the move that a lot of intermediates miss. Beginners and intermediates. The masters know this one. Okay, let's move on. Yeah, it's a logical move. Now is the struggle for the center. So let's just take that pawn, right, with a fork on the bishop and the knight. So they take with the knight. Now, there's a master move, right? You got to move the king over to protect against all kinds of attacks that could happen on the G1 square. So now we move along. Yeah, that's a master move, right? Get the rook moving. They know what they're doing. So I come in, let's take a look at that again. Master move with the rook. And knight takes pawn. Yeah, supported by the queen. Okay. Knight takes. Queen takes. This is all calculated. Trust me, we both spent minutes thinking about this exchange for the center. And I end up in control. So what's next? It's a good move, Good move by the pawn. Okay. So now I'm setting myself up for the center attack here. Let's see how this unfolds. Let's go along fairly quickly. Yeah, they don't want any attack by the queen, so they push up the pawn, but that does weaken up the dark squares. They do not have a oh yeah, they do have the bishop, but it's out of place. Not easy to control those dark squares. This now, in my mind, is a weakness, right? All those dark squares, there's a possible attack. So let's move along. Yeah, queen's in position for an attack, but also a calculated attack on the black queen. So the knight responds, attacking the queen, and I take their queen because I figure I can win this game. I think I'm better than this player. I believe with this move I can win. So let's look at how this goes. Rook takes queen. Bishop takes knight. And we just do a quick count of the pieces. Looks like we're equal, right? Maybe I'm up a pawn. Yeah, I'm up a pawn. It's pretty equal. So who is going to win this? Okay, let's look. Beautiful. Powerful. What are you going to do? You're thinking, wow, what can I do about that? Well, you've got to develop that. Bishop is sitting on c1. Got to do something about that, right? So that's one way to deal with it. It prevents the bishop from taking your pawn and giving you a backdoor for your bishop. This was probably the best move of the game so far because it has the two purposes. Now let's look at this odd move is to push the pawn, control the center. So I get my bishop out. Had to get that done because I need to get my rooks rolling. That's the way I win games. So they're going to put an attack on the queen's side. I have my own ideas at this point, but I'm certainly not going to let them get into my territory. I block them. You have to oppose. So they're continuing with a queenside attack. That's the only thing they can think of right now. And right now, my bishop controls that diagonal from a1 to h8. That's very important. So let's see what happens. An attack on the bishop, which was not protected. Yes, the rook comes in to defend, and it's open to some trickery here. Let's see how we do this. So, yeah, we want to double up those rooks. Now, here is where you can see the king on h1, which I moved earlier from g1 to h1. This is critical because right now, if my king was on g1, they could come in with their bishop, check, and grab my rook. So pay attention to these little details. That's why the king was moved. This is all foreseen. So the only thing they have is their queenside attack at this point. They have other moves, but it worked out good for me. So yeah, doubling up the rooks. At this point, I feel I can win. This is a winning game. Double up the rooks. It's a lot of pressure on the bishop and the rook. So here we go. Let's moving along quickly. That's a good move, right? Bishop protects the rook. What am I going to do here? Well, let's see. Yeah, that was the master move right there. Bringing that bishop, the white bishop, up. to block and force some action. And the rook moves up to try to double up their rooks. And what do I have here? I've got a pin. It's a beautiful center situation. If you take a good look at this and maybe take a snapshot, because you've got the two rooks doubled up. You've got the two bishops and you've got a pin on the rook. What are they going to do? What are they going to do? They're losing a piece for sure here. Their response? Well, they attack the bishop. Bishop takes the rook. Bishop takes bishop. And now we just look around at the pieces. We see two rooks and a bishop against a rook and two bishops. I think we're ahead here. And we got the doubled up rooks. Boy. Yeah, that was the beauty of that combination, and I had that all calculated because it is a take with check. Nothing they can do about that. They have to move the king or put the rook in danger. They have to move the king. And so now it's just about finished because we've got rook takes bishop. So what a beautiful combination. It was all calculated and set up. And this is how you win through the center. Okay? So the rest is history, really. They know it's finished. King moves, hoping to escape maybe on time, right? Sometimes they do that. They'll run around, try to run you out of your time. So, that rook has nowhere to go. And then the king has no pieces. So they have to take, I take, and they're ready to resign because they know they can't win this game. Push the pawn. And they're ready to resign here. They're trying for some action. But, after a few moves, this is going to be checkmate. They've got nothing. So, I hope you enjoyed this game. It was all about a fight in the center. I really love this game for that extremely vigorous fight in the center of the board. Enjoy your chess. Have a good night.